Hey kids, ever wonder why people generally don't trust the government and take everything they say with a grain of salt? Well, one possible reason for this is Operation Mockingbird. It was a series of controversial actions taken by the CIA in which they attempted to alter the output of the media. This was done to control the flow of information so that it supported the ideals and agenda of the CIA as well as the government. Due to the secrecy of this operation, there is very little information out there about what happened. However, with a little bit of speculation, we can get a vague idea. During the time, the Cold War was in full force and had a large impact on not just America, but the rest of the world. Communist ideas were spreading at an alarming rate, and the American government tried to minimize its influence. They knew that in order to stop communist influence from growing, they had to make sure they had control in their own nation first. So, through Operation Mockingbird, the CIA created a system in which they would hire major journalists from the largest media centers in the nation and pay them to alter their stories to support the agenda of the CIA. The CIA wanted to prevent the possibility of U.S. citizens sympathizing with any sort of communist ideas, in order to ensure that capitalism would reign supreme. Now, while there are no reports confirmed by the CIA themselves, for obvious reasons, there is evidence that such tampering happened, with some claiming that it still happens today. Despite this lack of confirmation, it can be speculated that articles published under this operation bent the truth to glorify America and what it stood for, as well as demonize the USSR and communist ideas. The operation affected the entirety of the United States. However, due to the lack of information, we cannot tell how great its impact was. There are two probable outcomes. Either the United States successfully created a propaganda system that influenced the entire nation, or the changes were subtle enough that they had no large impact. The operation overall was fairly hypocritical, especially when taking into account the United States' criticism of the USSR's use of propaganda. Due to the statutes of freedom of ideas and freedom of speech within the United States, it makes sense that the CIA would keep this operation a secret as to not gain a bad rep from the United States population. Many sources that talk about this topic lack credibility because they have no direct evidence and instead theorize. Operation Mockingbird is one of the CIA's most tightly kept secrets, and for good reason, and it's likely going to stay that way for a while.